When Karen knocked on my door with a $5,000 fine for illegal hunting, I just smiled. What she didn't know was that little piece of paper set off a chain of events that would leave the entire HOA in tears. They thought they controlled every inch of this neighborhood. But there's one thing they don't control: property law. And once I started digging into those so-called community trails they hike every morning, I uncovered a secret that could flip the whole game. I never planned on becoming the neighborhood villain. 2 years ago, when I moved to Green Valley Estates, I was simply looking for peace and quiet. After 8 years in the military and another 5 working in cramped tech offices, in Seattle, I crave space, lots of it. My name is Mason Holloway, 38 years old, and I work remotely as a software engineer for a cybersecurity firm. The job pays well, gives me flexibility, and most importantly allowed me to escape the city for this quiet suburb nestled against beautiful woodland in western Washington. Green Valley Estates seemed perfect on paper. Modern homes on spacious lots backed by miles of forest. The HOA fees were steep, $450 quarterly, but the listing agent assured me it was worth it. What she failed to mention was that the Green Valley Estates Association was run by Evelyn Richardson, the most controlling person to ever wield a rule book. I first met Evelyn during my second week when she appeared with a welcome basket containing more HOA bylaws than gifts. "We're so delighted to have new blood," she said, her smile not reaching her eyes. My neighbor Sarah Johnson warned me early. "Don't let Evelyn get to you. She believes her way is the only way." I might have flown under Evelyn's radar if not for my hunting. Discovering 80 acres of pristine forest adjoining our community, I researched ownership. The land belonged to Frank Williams, 83, living in Florida. I contacted him, and to my surprise, he granted permission. "Son, you have my permission. Just be respectful." What I didn't realize was Evelyn and other HOA members had been using Frank's land for years, creating trails, installing benches, bird feeders, treating it as their private nature reserve without Frank's knowledge. They were even planning an Evelyn Richardson nature park. On a November morning, I took a clean shot at an 8-point buck in Frank's clearing. Through the trees emerged Evelyn leading her hiking group. "What in God's name are you doing?" she shrieked, snapping photos. "This is a protected area." I explained I had the owner's permission, but she cut me off. "We manage these nature trails. Hunting is prohibited." 3 days later, an official envelope demanded a $5,000 fine for cruel hunting activities. Sarah sighed when I told her, "Evelyn's been selling exclusive access to those woods for years. I doubt she ever checked who owned it." At the next HOA meeting, Evelyn framed it as a public shaming. "Explain why you engage in violent activities in our nature preserve?" I stood calmly. "I hunted legally, with a permit on private property, with the owner's written permission. The HOA has no jurisdiction outside its boundaries." I placed copies of my license and Frank's email on the table. Evelyn dismissed me. "Those trails have been part of our community for over a decade. Established use." Marcus Bennett, her vice president, added, "Firearms near homes represent a safety concern." Officer Mike Davis confirmed I'd acted within the law, but Evelyn insisted, "This is about community standards. The fine stands. 30 days or we place a lien." That night I called Frank. Frustrated, he admitted, "I had no idea they were using my land. Taxes keep rising. I might sell." A plan formed. "Frank, if you're serious, I might buy it." We settled on $750,000, nearly my entire savings, but worth it. While closing the deal, I discovered the HOA's fraudulent park plans and fundraising. Attorney Amanda Lewis confirmed, "This is clear overreach. Adverse possession requires paying. Property taxes and open use for 10 years, neither applies." Meanwhile, Evelyn escalated. Anonymous notes, vandalized trash cans, 3 more violation notices. Robert Jackson, a retired accountant and former board member, visited secretly. "Years ago, Evelyn directed us to ignore finding the owner. She said adverse possession would handle it, and the trail fund. Large payments go to Green Vision Consulting, with vague invoices approved only by Evelyn. He looked nervous. Be careful. She doesn't lose gracefully. Nancy Roberts, the HOA secretary, met me at a distant coffee shop, terrified. The money goes to Green Vision Consulting, owned by Evelyn's husband Trevor and Marcus's sister Patricia. I have copies. She slid me a flash drive. Detective Alex Morgan reviewed the evidence. If they solicited donations for land they knew wasn't theirs and diverted funds to family, that crosses legal lines. He confirmed payments of $68,000 to Green Vision for services worth a third of that. At the next HOA meeting, Evelyn doubled down. Baseless accusations. Mr. Holloway smears those who serve selflessly. Then she snapped, pointing at me. You've made a serious mistake. I promise you'll regret ever moving here. I will personally make sure. The next day, I gave everything to reporter Emily Chen. Her article published online just as Evelyn called a solidarity meeting. The community center overflowed. Evelyn tried to control the narrative, but shouts erupted. Did you funnel money to your husband? Why hide the land ownership? Richard Cooper, the treasurer, broke ranks. You assured me everything was above board. As chaos mounted, District Attorney Hayes and Detective Morgan arrived. Nancy Roberts stood, trembling but determined. You concealed ownership, pressured payments to Trevor's company, threatened my job. This was about building a monument to yourself. Evelyn refused to resign. I will not abandon my responsibilities because of one vendetta. She stormed out. Later, an anonymous text warned. Storage Unit 23 getting emptied tonight. Detective Morgan intercepted Trevor and Patricia removing financial records. Evelyn's last move was a community trail preservation walk, a mass trespass on my now legally marked wildlife reserve. As Evelyn led the group toward my fence, deputies arrived. Detective Morgan announced, This land is private. Anyone crossing can be arrested. The crowd dispersed under Evelyn's furious glare. With evidence from Nancy, Robert, and the storage unit, the DA charged Evelyn, Trevor, and Patricia with fraud and embezzlement. Over $68,000 had funded their vacations and renovations. The HOA board disbanded. Sarah Johnson became interim president, initiating a full audit and transparency rules. The trio took plea deals, probation, repayment over $100,000, banned from HOAs for 10 years. They sold their house and left. A month later, the new HOA voted unanimously on a proper access agreement for part of my land. We named it the Frank Williams Memorial Trail. The $75,000 repaid by Evelyn funded an ethics scholarship. Walking home from that meeting, I realized the HOA lost control but found honesty. I gained a true community. And Evelyn? She learned the hard way that property, law always wins.